The series begins with a teacher named Win, who is meeting with the school principal and his fellow teachers to present new ideas for educational methods that would allow them to be closer to the students and help them understand more easily. The administration is really impressed by his ideas. After Win finishes, another teacher named Molly speaks up and explains her own idea that she also wants to implement. Her idea is about educating students on the dangers of illegal relationships so that they won't fall into them. However, the other teachers and the administration are bothered by her words, accusing her of being too bold and of putting inappropriate ideas into the students' minds. Later, Molly goes to her classroom, where a new student named Nano arrives. Nano introduces herself to her classmates and takes her seat. Soon after, Win comes in and asks for volunteers from the students to help him record an educational video about yoga. Nano volunteers, and Win accepts her. At that moment, Molly approaches Win and suggests that he also include a student named May since she practices yoga and knows a lot about it. But surprisingly, Win politely refuses to let May participate. Later, Win gathers the students who will appear in the video to train them, and after finishing, he goes home to spend time with his wife, Awan, and their daughter, Fai. They seem to be a very close and loving family. The next day at school, Nano tells her classmate Aang that Mr. Win canceled the video shoot for the day. Then Nano tries to get closer to May, but May is very withdrawn and doesn't like talking to anyone. Nano later goes to see Win about the video, and we find out that she wrote Aang's and Win's names on the list for filming. When Win wonders why Aang is absent, Nano tells him that Aang felt very sick and went home to rest. When the filming starts, Win keeps adjusting Nano's yoga poses, but then he takes advantage of the situation and harasses her, touching her body. Nano seems fine with it and doesn't resist, and they end up having a physical relationship while the camera is recording everything. At the same time, May is in Molly's office, talking to her about a friend who got pregnant by her boyfriend and is scared that her family will find out. She doesn't know what to do and is afraid to go have an abortion on her own. Molly immediately realizes that May is talking about herself and tries to comfort her, saying she'll go with her if she decides to do it. This terrifies May because she feels exposed and thinks Molly knows her secret. Molly smiles and quickly walks away. As May leaves Molly's office, she finds Nano standing outside. Nano has heard everything and now knows May's secret. She reassures May, promising that she'll stand by her and help her. Then Nano goes with Win to the recording room, where he shows her the video that the camera recorded when they were together. He starts getting close to her again and harasses her, but Nano tells him that he should care about his family and protect them because what he's doing is wrong and its consequences will be severe. Win threatens her, saying that if she doesn't give in to him, he will release the video and expose her. When Win returns home, he is shocked when one of the students, Nano, comes to return his phone. He becomes nervous and tense, asking if Nano has already left. But to his surprise, Nano is sitting with his daughter, Fai, in her room. They're getting to know each other, and it seems like they'll become friends. Later at dinner, Fai insists that Nano sit and eat with them. Win tries to stay calm and composed the whole time so that no one will notice anything unusual. Fai tells her parents that Nano is very smart and helped her study, so Win suggests that Nano come over every day to study with Fai. That night, Win receives a voice message from Nano. It's the same recording of his threat to her about the video. In the message, she threatens him back, saying that she'll be the one to expose him if he dares to hurt her. The next day, he calls her and demands that she stay away from him and his family. He believes she won't scare him because if the video leaks, she'll be the one exposed. Meanwhile, Nano is with May, warning her to stay away from Win because he's a bad person and dangerous. But Nano tells her that she knows exactly how to deal with people like Win. Later, Nano goes to Win's house and meets Fai. When Fai goes out with her boyfriend, Nano calls Win and asks him to come meet her. Then she takes Fai and her boyfriend out, bringing them to a hotel so they can be alone without worrying that her parents might show up. After leaving them there, Nano secretly installs a camera in the room to record Fai and her boyfriend together. Then Nano waits in the recording room. When Win arrives, he finds the place dark, and Nano speaks to him through the window of his office, asking him to give her the password to his computer so she can delete her video from it, or else she'll expose his daughter by releasing her video. She then shows him the footage of FAI and her boyfriend together, shocking him completely. As he panics and tries to leave to go to his daughter, he finds that Nano has locked all the doors, trapping him inside. She refuses to let him go until he gives her the password, so he is forced to tell her just so she'll let him leave. Nano opens Win's computer and goes through the files, where she finds many victims, including May. She takes all the videos, deletes them from Win's computer, and sends everything to FAI and Awan. At that moment, Win arrives where FAI is after getting the address from Nano. FAI confronts him angrily about what she learned, shocked by the videos she saw. She runs away from him into the street, and a car hits her, killing her instantly. Win completely breaks down. Later, Molly receives messages from Nano containing the videos and asking her to expose Win and save the girls from him. She also tells her that she's leaving the school. The next day, chaos erupts at the school after the videos are leaked to the media. Journalists gather in front of the school to film Win and expose him. In the end, Nano teaches Win a lesson he'll never forget. He will never dare to harm another girl again. The next day, Nano transfers to her new school. When the boys find out that there's a new student, they all rush to the classroom window to see her. The teacher catches them and punishes them for what they're doing. Inside the classroom, Nano sits next to a girl named Itim and asks her about the boys who were standing by the window. Itim tells her they're the most popular boys in school and play on the basketball team. Their classmate Teo warns Nano not to get close to them because they're troublemakers, but Nano doesn't care about what she says. Later, during the break, one of the boys named Hawk gives Itim a chocolate bar to give to Nano. Itim feels upset because she thought the chocolate was for her, and that maybe Hawk liked her. She gives the chocolate to Nano, annoyed, but Nano tells her that she's overweight and should lose weight. Itim feels embarrassed and even more hurt. After that, the three boys meet Itim and Tayo and give them 2 tickets to a concert by the band they like. Itim refuses to take the tickets, realizing that the boys won't do anything for them and only care about Nano. She takes Tayo with her and leaves, upset that all the boys want to get close to Nano while no one pays attention to them. The next day at school, Nano finds a flower from Hawk placed on her desk. She notices him standing by the window, waiting to see her reaction, but she ignores him completely. Teo then asks Nano if she likes Hawk the same way he likes her, but Nano says she doesn't trust boys and doesn't like anyone. At that moment, Itim takes out her phone and starts talking with Teo about Nano. They both gossip, saying that Nano is fake, flirty, and just pretending to be a decent girl. Later, a male classmate comes and asks Teo to help him study. Teo immediately agrees because she likes him. While they're studying, Nano and the boy keep exchanging looks of admiration. Teo notices it, gets upset, and leaves to the bathroom, crying. Itim follows her, trying to comfort her, and stays there waiting for her to calm down. After a while, Teo comes out filled with anger and tells Itim that they must go to the party tonight at Hawk's house and bring Nano with them. Itim is surprised at first, but eventually agrees. That night, everyone gathers at Hawk's house, and we learn that Tayo and Itim have made a deal with Hawk and his friends to mess with Nano. When Nano drinks her beverage, she starts feeling dizzy and suddenly faints. Hawk takes her to a room intending to assault her, but suddenly Nano wakes up. Hawk is shocked, unable to believe she regained consciousness so quickly. When Nano tries to leave the room, she finds the door blocked by Hawk's friends and the girls, who refuse to let her go. Hawk pulls her onto the bed and rapes her. Nano provokes him with her words, mocking him and laughing loudly, which makes him lose control and strangle her without realizing it, killing her in the process. Hawk's friends and the girls enter the room to find Nano lying dead on the bed. They all panic in fear and confusion. Itim tells them they must bury her somewhere far away where no one can find her. They go to a remote garden, dig a hole, and prepare to throw Nano's body inside. Suddenly, Nano wakes up. It turns out she's still alive. But even then, they decide to bury her anyway to avoid getting caught. They cover her with soil while she's still conscious and alive right in front of them. The next day at school, Tayo and I-Team sit together, nervous and sad. Suddenly, they see Nano walking toward them, alive and perfectly fine as if nothing ever happened. Both of them are completely shocked and terrified. During the break, they sit alone, scared, when Nano comes to sit next to them. They stare at her in fear and confusion, while she calmly eats her food, acting normal but with a frightening calmness. That night, Tayo and I-Team meet with Hawk and his friends. They all gather together, panicking and trying to figure out what to do about the disaster they're in and how Nano is still alive after being buried. Just then, the doorbell rings. Hawk goes to open it and is shocked to find Nano standing there. She tells him she came to get her phone, which she forgot in his room the previous night. Hawk stands frozen in fear, and Nano walks up to the room. Everyone follows her, only to discover that she had hidden her phone under the pillow and recorded everything that happened. She threatens them with the recording, saying she'll expose them. Out of fear, they all attack her again, and Hawk strangles her to death once more. Suddenly, Nano bursts out laughing hysterically before he kills her completely. Hawk, panicking, grabs a shovel and starts hitting her repeatedly until she dies. But the shocking moment comes when they turn around and see another version of Nano standing right in front of them. Terrified and unable to understand what's happening, they all run to the car and drive away in panic. The next day at school, they are horrified once again when Nano walks into the classroom alive as if nothing ever happened. They live in constant fear and confusion, not understanding what's happening to them. This becomes Nano's punishment for them, for thinking they could treat someone that way and get away with it. Later, we see Nano at another school, standing and listening to two girls named Boy and Nu talking about the names of the top students displayed on the school's honor board. Both girls sound disappointed and frustrated, feeling like failures compared to the others. They keep telling each other not to give up or feel worse. But their teacher, Miss Berlin, overhears them and scolds them, saying they'll always be failures as long as they keep encouraging each other in the wrong way. At that moment, Nano approaches them and introduces herself to Berlin as a new student at the school. She asks Berlin to motivate the two girls to study harder because they look like they need encouragement, especially since Nano seems smart and confident. After some time, Boy becomes one of the top students, and Berlin praises her in front of the entire class. This makes Nu feel deeply upset, jealous, and resentful toward her friend. Later, Nano sits with Nu and starts provoking her against Boy, telling her that she found out Boy has been copying essays and pretending to be talented and brilliant while hiding her methods so that Nu stays a failure. Nu gets curious and asks how Boy did it, so Nano gives her exactly what she wanted, something she could copy and claim as her own. That night, Nu searches Google for paintings and decides to copy one to submit as her work. The next day in class, students hand in their art projects to Berlin. Nu is very hesitant to submit hers, afraid that Berlin will criticize and humiliate her again as usual. But then Nano takes Nu's painting and loudly says that it's beautiful. Berlin comes over to see it, and when Nu nervously gives it to her, Berlin is amazed and impressed. She tells Nu to submit it to the school's art competition. For the first time, Nu feels proud and successful. Later, her picture is displayed on the school's honor board among the top students. Nu looks at her name and photo with joy. Boy approaches her, trying to talk and asking why she suddenly started avoiding her, but Nu ignores her and walks away. After that, Nu becomes popular and admired at school. This pushes her to copy more paintings from Google so she can stay famous and loved. One day, Miss Berlin asks Nu to paint a picture live on stage so everyone can see her draw. Nu becomes extremely nervous and tries to make excuses, hoping Berlin will cancel the idea. But all the students cheer for her and say they want to see her draw. So later, Nu goes to Nano and argues with her, realizing that Nano is the reason she got into this mess. Nano tells her that she never asked her to steal someone else's work and effort and claim it as her own, and that she only showed her Google, while Nu was the one who chose to copy and cheat. At night, Nu keeps trying to draw something on her own but fails. And the next day at school, she goes to Boy to talk to her and admits that she was jealous of her because she became one of the top students. Then she takes a hammer out of her bag and asks Boy to hit her hands with it. Boy is shocked by her request. So New explains that she can't draw on stage because all the paintings she ever made were copied. After arguing for a while, Boy refuses to hit her. So New grabs the hammer herself and hits her own hands, crying and screaming, then accuses Boy in front of everyone of hitting her. Boy stands frozen and shocked, unable to believe what just happened. At night, New is at home when Nano and the teacher come to visit her. They find out that Boy has been punished for what happened, and the teacher says she will never trust her again. Suddenly, Nano tells New that she can still draw with her left hand, reminding her that she once wrote on her social media that she could draw with both hands. New smiles faintly, but looks exhausted and in pain. When the talent show night arrives, all the students go on stage to show their skills, and when it's New's turn, she's trembling with fear. Suddenly, a student from another school goes on stage and accuses New of stealing her friend's painting, showing a photo of him holding the original one. New bursts into tears, but the principal defends her, accusing the other girl of lying because she's from a rival school. He then asks New to draw in front of everyone to prove her talent, but the drawing turns out awful, completely different from any of her previous paintings. The principal starts to panic, realizing his school's reputation might be ruined. So the principal tries to cover up what happened by saying that New was just too nervous, and that's why she couldn't draw properly. Then New starts talking and thanks everyone for supporting her, saying that she finally understands the meaning of love, support, and trust after what happened. All the students stand up and applaud her, and Boy feels very happy for her. Later, New writes that Nano had left her a note saying she hopes New has learned her lesson and wishes her happiness. After that, Nano transfers to a new school, where a teacher welcomes her and shows her around, introducing the rooms that were built for different activities. She also explains that those rooms were funded by the students' parents, which is why their names are displayed on them. Nano quietly says to herself that money really can buy anything. Then she pays a large amount of money to buy a room under her own name as well. Later, in class, the students are happy with the gifts their classmate Dino gave them when Nano walks in to hand out cards related to the room she bought at school. Then the teacher arrives and gives them their exam results, and Toe is very upset because of his low grade. His father won't buy him the motorcycle he promised. Nano calls him to her room so they can talk. To goes there with his friends and asks how she can help him. Nano asks for money, takes his exam paper, tears it up, and makes a new one with a high grade and the school's real stamp on it. Two and his friends are shocked because the paper looks exactly like the original. Nano tells them she can make any wish of theirs come true. After that, we see students lining up in long queues to meet Nano, giving her lots of money in exchange for making their wishes come true. One day in class, Nano notices that Dino is the only one who hasn't asked her for anything, so she asks him why. He tells her he doesn't need anything from her, and Two explains that Dino has everything. He's rich and can get whatever he wants. Then one of the students asks Nano to arrange a nice trip for them to have fun, and Nano suggests that they visit Dino's house since she's heard a lot about how luxurious it is and wants to see it herself. Dino gets nervous and says there's nothing special about his house, but his friends keep insisting until he finally agrees. After school ends, Dino gets into his fancy car that comes to pick him up every day. When Dino returns home, the shocking truth is revealed. He's actually the son of the servants who work in a huge luxurious mansion belonging to a very wealthy family. When he gets to his room, he sees messages from Nano and his friends on his phone, asking when they'll be visiting his house. Dino texts Nano and begs her to choose any other place for them to hang out, using the excuse that his house is full of expensive antiques that might get broken. He then asks her to find another house that matches his description, and they agree to keep it a secret so he can tell his friends it's his home. Nano asks him for a large amount of money to make it happen. After that, Dino steals the money his parents use for their small trading business. He hesitates a lot while doing it, knowing his parents will suffer because of what he's done. The next day, he meets Nano and gives her the money, and she shows him the luxurious house she rented for him. Later, all of Dino's friends arrive at the house and are amazed by how beautiful and grand it looks. Suddenly, Dino is completely shocked when he sees that the servants in the house are actually his real parents. That's when we find out Nano was behind it all. Dino's friends are arrogant and rude, and they treat his parents terribly, thinking that servants should be treated that way. After a while, the group starts to feel bored and wants to try something new, so Nano suggests a new game, Russian roulette. She explains that whoever gets hit by the bullet will die. They're terrified of dying, so they decide to shoot themselves in the arm instead, and they all put down a large amount of money as a prize for whoever survives. The game begins, and the gun spins from one person to another until it's Dino's turn. At that exact moment, Dino's father walks in, takes the gun away, and yells at them, scolding them for being so careless with their lives and not appreciating how hard their parents work. Then Toe and the others attack him and even hit Dino's mother, leaving both of them lying on the ground unconscious. Dino stands there in complete shock, frozen and speechless, while Nano laughs hysterically and decides to give the money to Dino's parents instead. Later that night, when Dino returns home, he finds his parents waiting for him, their eyes filled with deep sorrow over what their son has done to them. But they forgive him and decide to move past what happened. Dino feels deep regret for humiliating his parents and putting them in such a difficult situation. After that, Nano transfers to a new boarding school. One day, there's a school party, and we see Nano dancing with a student named Han. Rumors start spreading that they are dating, and people in the school are very curious about them. However, Han is secretly in a relationship with his classmate Yui and doesn't want anyone to know, as he fears losing his popularity and the admiration of the students for his story with Nano. He tries to calm Yui, who is constantly upset about his secret love, and realizes that he truly loves her, while Nano is just someone he talks to for the sake of attention. At that moment, Han receives a message in the school group that Nano is locked in the bathroom. He immediately runs to help her and rescue her. All the students filming the event are fascinated by their love story. Yui watches from a distance, feeling jealous and upset. But then, Han surprises everyone by openly confessing his love to Nano. As a result, Han and Nano's popularity at school skyrockets, and students start idolizing them. Some even sell drugs, notebooks, and cups featuring pictures of Han and Nano. When Han learns that Yui is upset and hurt by what's happening, he sends her a message to calm her down, repeating the same words he told her before, explaining that what he's doing is only for attention. He arranges to meet her and reconcile with her. But at that moment, Nano enters with one of their classmates filming them, and the situation continues like that. The camera keeps recording Han and Nano together everywhere, which increases Yui's jealousy and causes her to lose control. She attacks Han, fights with him, and threatens that if he doesn't break up with Nano immediately, she will expose him and leave him. Han calms her and asks her to wait just 2 days, promising he will end his relationship with Nano completely. But at that moment, other students happen to walk in, and Nano is with them, pretending to be shocked by Han's betrayal. She leaves the place and walks away. Han runs after her to make up with her, and they confess the truth. He got involved with Nano for fame only, and Yui is his girlfriend whom he truly loves and cannot leave. Nano laughs at him mockingly and tells him she knew all of it from the first day she came to school, and she threatens to tell everyone and make him lose his fame if he even thinks of leaving her. He backs down from his decision to break up with Nano because he is afraid of losing his reputation and the students' hatred. After that, we see all social media mocking Yui and making fun of her. So Han and Yui decide to think of a way to push Nano away from Han. An idea occurs to them to stage Han's betrayal so he will break up with Nano quickly. Yui takes photos to hang around the school, but suddenly she finds all the students photographing her instead. And the next day, Yui is subjected to bullying and attacks from all the students. They throw food at her and refuse to accept her among them. Nano gathers the students, who are wearing pins with Han's picture, and they go to beat Yui very severely. Yui decides to take revenge on Nano. She prepares herself, climbs to the roof, strikes with a stick, and throws her off the roof. When the students see Nano drowning in her blood, they all collapse, including Han, and we learn that Han had only been pretending to be sad. When he goes to Yui afterward, he is happy because she has killed Nano and they are rid of her. The surprise is that Yui tells him she didn't do anything and that Nano suddenly began laughing hysterically and threw herself. At that moment, Han receives a message that Nano is still alive. He rushes to the hospital and finds all the students gathered around her. The doctors explain that Nano will remain in a coma for the rest of her life and will need someone to care for her. The students urge Han to take care of her as he promised, saying it is a lover's duty to care for his beloved. Han reluctantly agrees, not wanting to lose his fame and knowing that taking care of Nano will make him even more famous once people learn about it. Afterward, we see Nano at a new school, recovering. There, Bam becomes jealous of Nano because the students admire her, and Bam starts treating Nano poorly, making her clean the playground alone. At that moment, a student named Ao intervenes and helps Nano, which makes her very happy, and she begins to like him. Meanwhile, Bam isolates herself in the bathroom, filled with anger and hatred, and writes insulting messages about Nano on the walls, wishing her harm. When she leaves the bathroom, she sees Nano reacting calmly to her words and smiles before walking away, noticing what she had written. The next day, Bam continues to treat Nano badly. Suddenly, she notices a terrible smell around her while sitting with others. After soccer practice, she and her classmates smell the same odor and realize it's coming from Nano. Everyone flees from the area she is in. We see Bam writing more bullying phrases on the bathroom walls daily, along with expressions of her secret affection for Ao. When a classmate named Ting upsets her, she angrily writes on the wall, calling Ting a dog. Suddenly, the entire school hears a dog barking. When Bam leaves the bathroom, she is shocked to discover that it is actually Ting's voice. At that moment, she realizes that the bathroom walls are enchanted, and whatever is written on them comes true. While Bam is in the bathroom, she hears a group of students beating up a girl because she refused to give them the exam answers. She goes out to her and tells her to write whatever she wishes on the bathroom walls because they are enchanted. The girl smiles and walks away, puzzled by her words. Later, Bam goes to Nano and the others and is surprised that they sit with her normally, not bothered by her smell. She writes that Nano smells nice, and then Ting comes and speaks normally without barking like a dog anymore. Bam runs to the bathroom to see what's happening and finds the cleaner trying to erase what's written on the wall. She tries to stop her, realizing the wall is cursed and that everything written on it comes true. But the cleaner doesn't believe her. The cleaner soon discovers that Bam was the one writing on the wall. Bam runs to the principal to report her so that she gets punished, but the cleaner gets angry and goes to the bathroom, writing on the wall that she wishes Bam would choke. Suddenly, all the students start running, and Bam follows them to see what's going on. She is shocked to find the cleaner hanging herself in the middle of the school, dead. Bam rushes to the bathroom and erases what was written. But then she hears two of her classmates saying that the cleaner suddenly woke up. She had only fainted from suffocation and was still alive. Bam feels relieved, but when she sees Ao sitting with Nano comforting her, jealousy fills her heart again. That night, when Bam sleeps, she dreams of the cleaner standing in front of her. She becomes terrified and sick, then suddenly finds Nano sitting beside her with the cleaner next to her. Nano tells her that she knows she tried to kill the cleaner. Bam breaks down crying, and at that moment, she wakes up in fear and writes that she was just dreaming. The next day at school, during class, the students witness one of their classmates jumping from the window to her death because she refused to help someone cheat in the exams. Bam realizes that the same girl she told to write on the bathroom wall has now started writing on it too, and she's taking revenge on the girls who bullied her. Bam feels guilty, believing she caused everything that's happening. Later, she sees one of the students lose her mind during the break, so Bam runs to the bathroom and finds someone has written about her too. Day after day, the events keep repeating. The writings on the wall increase, and the school becomes filled with terrifying incidents. Bam goes to confront the girl who first told her about the secret of the wall, and they start fighting. The girl writes that they both deserve to be hurt because they caused pain to so many students. When Bam sees the bathroom wall, she finds it full of a lot of writing. Among the writings, she sees that O is cursed to become disabled and never play football again. Bam runs to the playground and begs O not to play football today. O is surprised by her words and her behavior. Suddenly, he collapses to the ground and cannot move. and his friends gather around him. After that, Bam goes to the bathroom to erase everything written on the wall, but she hesitates when she sees a warning written, "Anyone who erases the wall will die." She sits alone, sad and crying. Nano laughs at her and reveals that she knows Bam is the one who started everything, who enchanted the wall so that every jealous and spiteful person would show their true nature. Nano tells her that the guilt for everyone who gets hurt will fall on her because she started it all and caused everything. Suddenly, Bam sees all the students running, chasing her. She goes to the bathroom and writes on the wall that she wishes everyone would disappear, and what she wrote comes true. Everyone in the school vanishes, leaving only Nano behind. We then move to a new school, where we see a student named Tika sitting in the principal's office with his father, who is speaking to the principal about accepting Tika into the school. The principal refuses because Tika was expelled from his previous school for theft. Tike's father then presents a large sum of money in a bag as a donation to bribe the principal into accepting him. After that, we see Nano entering the classroom, introducing herself to the students. She sits next to a girl classmate and politely asks her about Tika because he is sitting alone and no one is talking to him. She tells him that Tika is still a new student at their school and explains that he was expelled from his previous school for theft. Because of that, all the students are avoiding him, and no one wants to talk to him or be friends with him. During the break, she gives him some food she brought and talks to him about the theft. They discover that he isn't very smart, which is why he keeps getting caught. She suggests that they take on a challenge together and steal from the school to see who is better at it. Tika immediately agrees without thinking. The challenge begins, and each of them steals items from the students. Nano is able to steal valuable items successfully, unlike Tika, and it becomes clear that she wins the challenge because she is better at it. She remains careful and plans to sneak out at night to steal outside the school. From then on, they become friends and spend a lot of time together. One day, they plan to steal a very expensive painting from the school's gallery. When the school finds out, they search all the students, but cannot find the painting. Another day, Nano goes to Tike's dorm, which is full of stolen items. Tike asks her why she loves stealing, and she tells him it's because she enjoys the feeling of victory she gets every time she steals. The next day at school, Nano and Tike are in the library. She tells him that the school principal is corrupt and exploits parents of students expelled from other schools by taking large bribes to admit them. They decide to steal because the money and items rightly belong to the students, not the principal. Later, Tike learns that the police are after him, which could expose their planned theft. Nano tells him they have to carry out the theft that very night. That night, Tike breaks into the principal's office and tries to open the safe. Suddenly, the principal and security enter. The principal orders the security to leave, but the surveillance cameras catch everything. Nano shows up and Tike is shocked to learn from the principal that she reported him. At that moment, Tike's father arrives and offers another bribe to the principal, but Tike tears up the check. Before they can act further, the police arrive and arrest Tika. Nano is the one who alerted the police so they could come and arrest Tike. After some time, Tika is released from jail, and his father is waiting for him. They hug, and Tike cries, feeling sad and guilty about what he did. Later, he goes to meet Nano, telling her that he has decided to change, that he will not steal again, and that he does not want to lose her because he has grown attached to her. But Nano leaves him and walks away. They move to a new school, where there is a proud and arrogant student named Ko, sitting in class and observing everything. The students explain to him that a dangerous girl has escaped from prison, is armed, and has killed others, so they have been careful. Ko locks the classroom door securely. At that moment, the principal speaks to them over the speakers, instructing the students to stay in place because the escaped prisoner has entered the school posing as a student and has already killed 3 students. They try to call for help, but no mobile network is available. Nano tells them she has a network and reads the news about the escaped prisoner. Suddenly, someone tries to force the classroom door open. It is a student asking to be let in to hide with them, but they prevent her from entering, fearing she might be the killer. Nano laughs at them. Ko argues with them because they must help their classmate, but the teacher insists that no one opens the door. saying he doesn't care about any student's life and is worried only about himself and his young daughter. Nano tells them that the girl is dead, shocking both the teacher and the students. She also reveals that she has a knife and insists that everyone finds a weapon to defend themselves, including scissors, pens, and scalpels. Night falls while they are still hiding in the classroom. Ko suggests that they need to go out and call the police, but everyone is too scared. He volunteers to go alone, and after a long time, he leaves. Ko asks someone to open the door for him. A female classmate tries to open it, but Ko throws her out of the classroom, angering all his friends. Eventually, he decides to leave himself because he does not want to stay trapped in fear, while time passes and no one else comes to help. The teacher decides to leave as well to seek assistance, leaving his daughter with the other girls. After a while, the girls decide that they should also leave because no one will come back for them, and everyone had already escaped. Suddenly, they find Kai and their classmate in shock and terrified, saying that they found Ko dead. Then they see the television on, showing the news that the police arrived at the school, arrested the escaped prisoner, and that none of the students died. Everyone is stunned and cannot believe what is happening. At that moment, Nano tells them that the person who killed Ko could have been Sewer, their classmate, because he might have been jealous of him, or it could have been the teacher, afraid that Ko would expose him and let the students die to protect himself. Or it might have been Kai taking revenge because Ko threw her and sacrificed her. She continues, explaining that fear can drive a person to do anything, even kill, but it depends on a person's character. Some people can act out of fear, while others know how to help and protect. Later, Nano is at a new school, standing with the students during the morning lineup. The principal announces that there will be a vote for the most popular teacher in the school, with the prize being a trip to Singapore and a large sum of money. In class, the teacher named Bem is teaching the students. It is clear that Bem has a good relationship with the students, laughing and smiling at them. Then another teacher, Emem, enters. She is very strict, serious, and does not like joking during lessons. Emem goes to the principal's office, where the results of the student vote for the most popular teacher are shown. She argues that the students gave their votes unfairly and that her style and strictness make students dislike her. She tells Bem that being strict is the correct way to handle students and teachers, but the principal disagrees, asking her to adopt a softer and more friendly approach. He realizes that her personal life is affecting her professional demeanor, as she has issues with her ex-husband. Emem returns to her office frustrated and angry. Nano enters, telling her that she admires her style and approach, making Emem smile and reassuring her that Nano is not expecting her approval. Later, Emem goes home and argues with her son about his homework because he solved it incorrectly. And when she goes to the supermarket, she argues with the cashier because he calculated the bill wrong. Then she goes back home and sits with her son having dinner together. But as soon as he mentions his father and says he misses him and wants to see him, she gets upset and angry at him and treats him harshly. The next day at school, she finds the students sending messages to each other about her and her ex-husband, saying that he left her because she's a cold and harsh woman. When Om sees the messages, she collapses and faints. Later, she wakes up in the school infirmary and finds the principal coming in, telling her to take medical leave to rest and calm down. She agrees, but the principal tells her that her behavior is unacceptable and he won't tolerate it in his school, and that she has lost the position of vice principal because of her attitude. The next day, Om is at school sitting in her office, scribbling angrily on paper until she has a nervous breakdown. Then she sees her ex-husband arguing with his girlfriend and the principal praising her colleague Bim. She holds her head, completely unaware of herself because of the intense mental pressure she's under. And suddenly, she slaps one of the students without realizing it. The students all scream in fear. After that, the principal tells her to leave the school because she's become a danger to the students and to herself. She goes back home feeling deeply depressed and sad, and she finds social media talking about her and what she did to the student. When she hears her son crying and asking her to take him to his father, she attacks him and suffocates him with a pillow until he dies, without realizing what she's doing. The next day, there's a ceremony at the school to honor the teachers, and she goes there carrying a gun. She kills the principal, the teachers, the students, and everyone in the school. Nano stands beside her and tells her that all the people she killed had nothing to do with what happened to her, that she destroyed herself with her own hands. At that moment, Ohm decides to kill herself, and Nano continues her journey of punishing the dark souls. She goes to a new school, which is an all-girls school, and every year they have a ranking system to choose the Queen of Beauty among the students. The school has a special app that evaluates the students' beauty every day. The school is divided into several sections based on these evaluations. The higher the score, the more luxurious the building they live in, and the lower the score, the less luxurious. We see a student named Jade, who holds the first place, and two twins, Shiley and Lily, who are in second and third place. Kat is in fifth, Fee in seventh, and Nano is also there. Nano stands with Eyoung, who explains the ranking of each student to her and tells her that she hopes to be in first place one day, like Jade. Nano tells her that she's much prettier and more beautiful than Jade. Eyoung then tells Nano that she can check her own ranking on the app, and when Nano looks, she finds out that she is in first place. This makes Eyoung upset because Nano is new and immediately entered first place, while Eyoung has been in 10th place for several years. The next day, Eyoung wakes up and believes she has a pimple on her nose. When she checks the app, she sees that she dropped to 11th place. At school, the students cry because she fell to 10th place. Eyoung stands next to Nano and pretends to be happy for her. The other girls tease Eyoung about the pimple, saying it must have appeared because of chocolate. Eyoung then realizes that the chocolate Nano gave her was probably meant to harm her ranking. Later, Eyoung goes to the luxury building for the top-ranked students, but the security stops her, saying she is no longer among the top students. Nano, however, convinces them to let her in, and Eyoung is allowed to enter with Nano. After that, we see Eyoung struggling in the section for the regular students, where there is almost no luxury at all. She wakes up one day and finds that her ranking has dropped to 21st place. She gets angry and goes to get face creams to treat her pimples, and there she finds Nano. She feels hurt and walks away, but after 2 days of using the creams, Eyoung wakes up to find her pimples gone, and she climbs back up to 10th place. She happily returns to the building for the top 10 students and resumes her life. Suddenly, a girl attacks Eyoung because she is no longer in the top 10. Nano intervenes and stops the security from kicking Eyoung out, telling her that she could easily return to the top 10 if the other girls behave badly. Eyoung comes up with a cunning idea. She tries to make Nano fall from a swing, but Nano manages to stay safe. Eyoung finds herself back in 10th place. One day, she hears the other girls saying that she will eventually be in 10th place. Angered, she begins taking revenge on them, sabotaging their cream routines to ruin their appearance, shaving their hair to make them unattractive, and taking their places in the ranking. She climbs up to 2nd place. Jade, the 1st place girl, realizes that Eyoung ruined the other girls' appearances to boost her own ranking. Jade confronts Eyoung, hitting her face to injure her. Later, during the school beauty queen announcement, Eyoung realizes she has lost, and Champo, her classmate, wins 1st place after taking care of herself and following Nano's advice. The school principal tells the students that any girl can reach 1st place if she takes care of herself, trusts herself, and wishes well for others. Afterward, we see a close group of friends celebrating the 12th anniversary of their graduation. The group consists of Captain Pilot Thahab, who married his schoolmate Fong after a beautiful love story; Proud, who became a flight attendant; Wit, an energy engineer; Mung, a fashion designer; Shy, a bodybuilder; Shorty, a broker; and Kai, a doctor. Nano is at the party, serving drinks to the group. When Shorty sees Nano, he feels he has met her before, and asks if they know each other. Nano tells him that if he focuses, he will remember. Fong feels the same toward Nano as Shorty does. They bring out a box containing all their school memories, open it, and each one of them rejoices as they relive their own special memories from those days. Then, in the middle of the box, they find a mobile phone. They all wonder whose it is. Shorty remembers the phone well. It belonged to a girl who joined their class at the beginning of the year but left before the year ended. Unfortunately, he can't remember her name. Fong thinks for a moment and recalls that her name was Nano. We flash back 12 years to Nano's first day at school. She's holding her phone constantly, talking to Tan, her boyfriend. On Valentine's Day, Fong receives flowers from Intihab, and the other girls envy him, but Nano throws the flowers away, saying that if Tan truly loved her, he would have given her the flowers himself. One day, Fong and the other girls take Nano's phone to see who she's been talking to, since he apparently doesn't exist and no one has seen him. They find that the phone has no contact saved under Tan's name at all. They realize she has a boyfriend she talks to all the time, and they decide to expose her secret, bully her, and treat her badly. They write insults and mean messages on her desk, hit her with a ball, and harass her. At that moment, Nano decides to leave the school and walk away. We return to the present, and everyone is wondering where Nano is now. Suddenly, they all receive calls on their phones at the same time from an unknown number. Nano appears and tells them she's back, showing them a video on the screen. Meng harassing girls, Chai using drugs, Wit being a failed engineer responsible for a building collapse that imprisoned someone, and Kai the doctor building his hospital from money laundering. Then, a police officer attacks Nano, grabbing her phone and throwing it to the ground while threatening her. Nano exposes him, revealing to everyone that he beats his wife. Fong intervenes, and Nano mockingly tells her she's been crazy since school. She sarcastically asks about the antidepressants Fong takes because of her husband, Intihab. Everyone is shocked, as they always thought Intihab and Fong were a happy couple. We flash back to the time when Fong and her friends took Nano's phone. It is revealed that Fong discovered Intihab was cheating on her with Nano. She decided to take revenge by spreading rumors that Nano was crazy and talking to herself, making all the students bully and harass her. One day, Fong and her clique trick Nano by sending her messages pretending to be from Intihab to arrange a meeting. When Nano arrives, Fong and her friends attack her. Nano discovers that Fong orchestrated everything, confronts her, and decides to cut ties and distance herself. But at that moment, Fong commits suicide. We return to the present, and Nano says she knew and was certain that Intihab married Fong and stayed with her because he was afraid she would commit suicide if he left her. Then she shows a video on the screen revealing Intihab's betrayal of Fong with his close friend Proud. Fong, shocked, attacks Proud and Nano grabs a knife, confronts Fong and drags her toward Intihab. He defends himself, and Fong falls to the ground. At that moment, Nano reveals that Fong was pregnant, shocking Intihab because he didn't know she was carrying a child. Nano tells everyone that she poisoned the juice they drank. Some of them start collapsing, and she throws them a syringe containing an antidote to counteract the poison. Everyone fights over the syringe, trying to get it for themselves, and eventually all of them collapse from the poison. Chai is the only one still standing, about to take the syringe, when all his friends attack him simultaneously. Nano confronts them angrily, saying that when it came to their own interests and survival, they forgot they were friends. She points out that they believed her manipulation and doubted each other without verifying anything. She clarifies that she never poisoned them, and Chai tries to attack Nano, but he and his friends all faint. The next day, everyone wakes up on the ground, confused, with no idea what had happened. Chai tells them that it must have all been a nightmare, a very bad one. They all look at each other in disbelief, and then they see the syringe they had been fighting over. Nano appears on the screen, laughing, which scares them, and they run away from the place. At the end of part 1 of the series, we learn that Nano will continue her revenge against anyone with a black heart who harms others. This video was written by Allah and recorded by Mohammed Taher, that's me, and produced by Kareem Taher. Don't forget to follow the Film Fi Al-Qasim page to follow drama summaries. Follow Mohammed Taher's page for comedy summaries. And follow the Hakona Matata page to follow anime and cartoon summaries. Goodbye.
Don't forget to subscribe for more. Check out more recaps you'll absolutely love right here.